Welcome to the Spurs News Podcast, your home for all things Tottenham Hotspur. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Spurs News Podcast. I am Sam. Rejoining me this week, it's Stephan.
Mate, I thought I was going to get put on gardening leave after last week. Great episode.
Oh, really? You enjoyed that?
I enjoyed listening to that. So I spent a week in hospital, and the most inciting thing I got to do was listen to this podcast. And I was listening to a really, really good podcast last week. Really enjoyed you two chatting away. Did fear for a little bit if I was going to be asked back this week.
I don't know if that's quite a compliment you meant that to be. I spent a week in hospital, and the podcast was all right.
That's the best thing that happened all week. Yeah.
Yeah, so do I call you Stephanie now, or?
No, I have not gone full Kulusevski yet. It's fine.
Context is really important.
Oh, yeah. We've spoken about it in the podcast before. There is a funny thing that he actually replied to himself.
He did.
On social media, someone reckoned that Decky wasn't actually injured. He had just had a certain operation done. And he replied back with, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was transitioning and someone shared it as like, oh my God, this is doing the rounds. And he saw it and posted WTF.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, it was WTF bro question mark. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of amusing that when an injury or when something goes on this long, it does lend itself to the kind of conspiracy theories. And I think there's so much going wrong at the club right now. It feels like you've got enough fodder and enough stuff to play with, like for your conspiracy brain. Do you really need to be adding a forward transitioning?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait till the summer when the Spurs ladies make a new signing. Swedish international.
Yeah, well,
wait a minute.
It'd be one way for her to continue playing top flight football. But anyway, yeah. Yes. Well, it is a new show. So Billy T was on with me last week. That was fun. It was the first time we'd spoken. We'd been chatting on and off online, Twitter and all sorts for years, but first time we'd actually spoken, which was funny. He recognised my accent to the point that he could pinpoint where I'm from, by the way. That's a strange skill.
That's impressive.
It is, yeah. Like, he sort of went, oh, you're from this, and I recognise the accent. And I was like, oh, it's Bristol. He said, yeah, but is it this? And I was like, yes. Strange stalker man. But that was fun. It was a good chat. He is prolific right now on podcasts, by the way. Like,
oh yeah, he's everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, every day the guy is on a show, different show, more often than not, multiple times. He works a lot with the change for Tottenham, and I think being able to get his point across and articulate, he spoke very, very well. Like he didn't. He knew exactly what he wanted to say, unlike me, who's already mumbling 3 minutes into this podcast. Yeah.
He was very well spoken. He got points across well. Had some humour in there as well. Yeah.
Okay, so you're actually almost lobbying for him to replace you at this point.
No, I'm not.
Oh, right,
I like
okay. I just wondered, because, with Tottenham going down, I didn't know if you were quitting on us, because you know how much you love West Ham, and I didn't know if you decided to choose them over us.
Don't do this. Don't do that.
Don't do what, man? It was just you the other day said that,
I know what I said. That was in messaging.
I loved them so much. Why does it have to be my beloved West Ham? Like that. And I was a bit like, dude, what the fuck?
That's not quite how it went.
I think that's word for word. And I have witnesses who will lie for me. It is probably now, though, all joking aside, it is between us and West Ham, I think.
Forest's performance at the weekend.
Well, there are still 5 games, which means the Leeds and Forest could potentially cock it right up for 5 games. But it seems unlikely from this point.
I wonder what the odds are on Forest and Leeds being the two teams relegated at this point.
That would be astronomical nuts. Because Burnley are not beating Man City tonight. Because if they do that, I will actually hurt people.
God, yeah. Fair point.
I would be apoplectic. Like, the only thing I'm clinging on to right now is the pain that Arsenal fans... Right, so let me just put this here. Like, we are in a bad spot, and to be honest with you, what other people are doing doesn't really matter when you're this much in the shit. I know that. But if you think I didn't take some joy from Man City beating those bottling bastards the other day, you don't know me.
Honestly, I think I put in our group chat, like, I've never celebrated a match that does not involve a team I'm following.
Yeah.
As much as I did when Haaland scored and the final whistle went. I was like,
well,
wow.
I've said it. If Man City win the title, denying them, they will become my Premier League team next season. Without a shadow of a doubt. Look, there is an element here of, because I know a fair few Arsenal fans. One of my closest friends is a gooner, but she knows me and she's a nice enough person that during this time of absolute hell, I actually get, are you doing okay? Not like, in your face. Whereas other Arsenal fans I know are currently enjoying this a lot. And I get it, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be, like, we're challenging for the title, you're getting relegated. This is like,
best day ever. Yeah.
Well, it does feel like an Arsenal fan found a fucking genie in a lamp and's got one wish left, don't you think? I want us to be challenged. Yeah. I want Tottenham relegated. What's your third wish? Oh, I don't know. My mum to stop touching me. No, stop. No, sorry, that's not all Arsenal fans are abused. Move on. So, I got a lot of shit at the moment. Like, I get it a lot. And when you sort of do anything like this, you sort of put your head above the parapet where you give your opinions on a regular basis. I'm getting a lot of shit from Tottenham fans as well, which is kind of charming, kind of nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I put my head above the wall over the De Zerbi issue because I felt like compelled I had to speak on it. And, everyone, I said this at the time, everyone has different life experience, and just the life experience I had, I couldn't not voice my opinion on it. And so I had a lot of messages, and a lot of them were very nice, very kind, very kind of like, oh, well done for saying this, I understand your point of view. I had a few which were kind of debating it a bit, which is fine, like, by all means be respectful. And I had some that was just straight up calling me names for my opinion on it or my view, which I guess par for the course. But what I found really interesting is I had an email come through from one guy who blasted me for my opinion on De Zerbi, saying that, like, it's got nothing to do with football, focus on football, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm, pansy ass, my generation's the reason why we'd lose a war, kind of, like, it was a real rant, like, kind of,
oh wow, one of those ones.
Wow,
yeah.
My generation's the reason? Jesus, you haven't met Gen Z, damn. And
there's far worse than us, trust me.
Yeah, I know, right? And so he really laid into me, and then we had Billy T on the show, and the same guys emailed in talking about how great it was, how informative it was, and so if you're listening, thanks for still listening, I guess. But damn, dude, you really had an issue with me and De Zerbi, didn't you? Like, I don't know whether he's second cousins or what, but shit.
They clearly know each other.
Yeah, clearly there's something there. Like, but yeah, so you put your head above it, you do cop flack, which I know, but yeah, it's mad word. Something else someone said last week as well, which we had come in, and I've said this before, and I mean it. It's like, oh, like all the podcasts now, Spurs, like they're doing it like video stuff for YouTube. I'm like, dude, I got a face for radio. Like, I love podcasting because I can just like I haven't really done my hair this morning. Like I look like a dude who just fell out of bed right now, and I'll openly admit that.
I'm wearing tracky bottoms and an oversized Fallout hoodie, like jumper. I am not there.
I got you that. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, like I get it. Like, I know that's the way podcasts have gone, I'm old school. Like, podcast is talkie, like the radio, not TV. So I decided that like the Spurs news brand probably does need to grow, and I think we do need to have the talkie like visual things. So we need.
We could get Laura and Dan to do it. They're the
Yeah, I was going to say. I think we need to recruit hotter though, because Laura's past it now.
Oh.
Just letting that sit for a minute.
Oh.
It's okay. She knows that she can have me just clicking her fingers. She's all right. She's confident enough to know that. She's all right. So I can give her a stick. It's okay. For her husband listening right now, hello, sir. Yes.
Aston Villa, do a job. Come on.
Oh, God, we got to play them. It's a nightmare. Like the Laura Derby, as we call it, is a nightmare. But so I think we need to find some hot people who can talk about Tottenham and bring it in. So yeah, if you're hot and you like talking about Tottenham and you'd like to join the Spurs news team for next season, possibly in a very interesting season, get in touch. It's sam@spursnews.co.uk. Your proof of hotness will be a physical by Stephan. So just so you know, men only. Anyway, so moving on from that, I'm delighted to say we've had a message come in from a listener, even though I didn't ask for any this week. So that's dedication, by the way. And the person who's messaged in has his own theme. Would you like to listen to the theme?
I have a feeling I know who it is.
Now it's time for a comment from Island Brother.
So, not only is that theme really jolly and wonderful, but it gave me time to find his comment because I'd lost it. I feel so professional today. Okay, so Island Brother sent in this. I'm going to read it, do the best I can. I must be insane. Yes, true.
Good start. Yes. We all feel it. Yep.
Picture this, if you will. Me sitting alone in a bar, not drinking because I don't do that anymore. What a bad time to give up drinking and being a Tottenham fan, by the way.
I know, right? Oh,
do you ever, right, this is a tangent, you ever seen the stupid spoof film called Airplane?
A long time ago.
There's a character in that, in the whole joke, the whole way through, is this disaster's going on. He starts with like, oh, I picked a bad day to quit smoking because of the stress. And then later on, I picked a bad day to like quit drinking. And then later on, it's, I picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue. And then you're like, what? Hang on. It's like, I picked a bad day to stop doing methamphetamines. You're like, what the fuck? And it just goes on and on, like gradually getting worse. Made me think of that. Anyway, sorry, he says, sitting alone in a bar, not drinking because I don't do that anymore, with the whitest shirt, 1901 FA Cup celebration shirt, looking at a depressing 2-2 scoreline, while every football fan of every other team is passing me by, patting my shoulder, offering commiserations of hard luck, and it's not over yet. Well, my shoulder slowly blackened from the dirt until it was as dark as my mood. That is what they do to me. My one and only club. I have a suggestion for a segment of your show. So that opening bit was just to let us know how depressed Island Brother is. Like that theme, jolly as fuck, his comment, Depression FM. Right?
Yep.
I almost feel like, hang on.
Now it's time for a comment from Island Brother.
I've got to listen to it again. I need to pick myself back up. Right, I feel better now. Right, so here we go. I have a suggestion for a segment of your show. You can do a detailed breakdown year by year as to the decisions ENIC had made that led us to where we are now. You have some inside details that paints a complete picture as to the many simple but monumental failings they have made for profit. Remember, a broke clock is correct twice a day, and come on you Spurs. Oh, man, did that not go well. Thank you for your comment.
The problem is the ENIC clock's not broken, it's just freaking slow. They're not even right once a day.
I don't know what they are. I said recently, and I did a video thing on Twitter, which all of 3 people saw, but I said this is the first domino and the last domino for where we are right now. And this isn't a detailed ENIC thing, this is just a 2 points, like, sliding doors kind of moments where decisions were made that you look at and you go, yeah, that fucked us. You know that Amazon documentary that you starred in and they stumped me?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, during that, other than your incredible part in it, there was also a moment where Daniel Levy fired Mauricio Pochettino and looked to the camera and said, only time will tell if I made the right decision. I call that domino 1.
Yep.
We were a side at that point that were top 4 established, challenged for the title 2 of the 5 seasons he'd been there, and had just come off losing in the Champions League final, whilst also finishing 4th that year, by the way, which everyone talks about. Oh, the league form dropped off big time. Compare it to now. Like,
yeah,
really...
not that bad. I mean, I know when Poch got fired, we were on a bit of a slump, and it was quite clear to see that everybody was struggling to recover from that Champions League final.
But then again, this is
where was the stuff from above to help? Let me
interject here, because this is the really important thing. Prior to Pochettino being fired, during pre-season, the club did one of their tours, which is our other subject we'll come on to later. During that tour, Pochettino was asked by the press, what do you need to do to move on? He was like, the club have to invest. We've reached a point where, unless we spend like our rivals, we are stuck. You can't have a beautiful house with no furniture. Like, we have to now spend. He made it abundantly clear publicly what needed to happen. They fired him because it was cheaper to fire him and bringing a win-now manager, who, of course, by the way, was on every TV show, if you remember at the time. Every time we lost or drew, going, oh, these players are underperforming, I'd love to work with them.
Yeah.
Basically twerking for the job. You had a chairman in Daniel Levy whose dream had been for some time to hire a manager like Jose. And all of a sudden he had the chance and he took it. And that line, only time will tell if I was right. Well, no, Daniel, you were incredibly
You
wrong.
were so not fucking right.
Yeah. And so I call that domino 1 to go from where we were to where we are. And the final domino, I hand over to Johan Lang, who did a club interview after the January transfer window, January of this year. And he said, we didn't need to panic buy. Injured players are returning. And basically praised himself for the work they did.
For not spending money.
And you see the pattern there. You had our best manager since who knows when. Our best manager of the Premier League era, let's call it that.
Yep.
Because that's not subjective, that's accurate based on
That's accurate, yep.
Who challenged the club to say, right, if you want to kick on, this is what we need to do. Because this squad have kind of hit that and gone, fuck. And they need a pickup. And the way you do that is you invest. Because everyone around then goes, oh, shit. Like, so-and-so, oh, bloody hell, all right, okay. We go again. Like, off we go again. But that didn't happen. And then you've got a situation where the club have made a series of errors. Where you've now slipped down the table. To the point that the club needs to invest to get out of the shit. Like, we are now in deep shit. We need to invest to get out of it. And we did nothing. And Billy mentioned this last week, and I think it's really important people to realise is that technically, according to the club, in January, Fabio Paratici was working for us.
Yep.
Fiorentina, who's the club he now works for, after January, during that window, signed 5 players. They were rock bottom of Serie A and are now, as of this last weekend, safe. They are not going down.
Yep. Ironically, with a player on loan from us.
Yeah, the players they signed have dug them out of that hole. 100%. You can look at it statistically. You just see it. They dug themselves out of the hole. Those players were a variety of loans with options and stuff like that. Typical Paratici deals.
Yep.
He, according to him, let's make this clear. Who is the source on this? It's him. But a source close to him. But
a source very close to his actual.
If Demarzi, it was him. They're friends. If he's saying a source close to Fabio Paratici, it's him, isn't it? No, close to what him?
Very, very close.
Is it him putting on a voice? Yeah. Made it clear that from October into early November, he was screaming his head off. Thomas Frank had to be fired. A man after my own heart. And the club ignored him, so he quit. And they were like, no, you got to work your notice. And he did what, as Billy said last week, he did what everyone else does when they work their notice. It's just focus on the new job. And that's what he did. And they are not in the relegation zone anymore. And the person in charge of our recruitment said, it's all right. We brought in Conor Gallagher on massive money and no relegation clause, because we don't do that anymore. Because why would we get relegated?
Whilst in relegation battle.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the guy's a thundering idiot. I don't have any kind of redeeming thing. Like I used to say, like you look at some of the younger players he's spotted and signed for us, and you can definitely make an argument that he has an eye and an ability to identify these players, but when it comes to a director of football role and your squad building and stuff, there is something horrifically missing. And
he's like a decent scout at best.
That's how it feels. But I mean, look, there's so many factors to these things that we just simply don't know. Like, I remember Mitchell joining us from Southampton with this incredible reputation for data analysis and signings. And just through people that I got to know, I quickly found out that he basically identified these players, and Daniel Levy went, yeah, we're not paying that for them. And he's like, that's the fees. Like, that's what the clubs want. That's what they'll sell them for. They are going to be worth double that. And these are the players to sign. And Daniel Levy said, no, find me cheaper alternatives. So Mitchell did that.
We want Bruno Fernandes. Can you find me a 18-year-old version?
Well, basically he did it. He said, okay, with the data, these are the cheaper alternatives, and then handed in his notice. And they stuck him on gardening leave for the whole season. And then he left in the summer. But like, you if you know what you're doing, you're good at your job, and someone basically ties your hands behind your back, you don't want that on your CV, do you? Like, if you look at this and you go, like, from a Paul Mitchell point of view, he's like, so on my CV, rather than me signing Snyderland, who I signed at Southampton, or Wanyama, who I signed there, or the Kanate, or anyone like that who I identified, you want me tagged to signing Stambouli, who I said to you was 10th on the list. Yes, he meets what you're looking for, but I don't think he'll adapt to the league. Yeah, but he's only like £5 million, so we'll get him in. He covers. He ticks the box. That's fine.
Yeah,
and that was the attitude, and that's why he quit. And like that attitude, like Levy's attitude. This is why I sort of don't want to do this revisionist thing with Levy, which is I can be contradictory. Like I said last week, I think it's a contradiction, but it's true. Which is, I don't think we'd be in a relegation battle if Levy was still here, because I think he would have fired Frank sooner, and I think he'd have acted in January out of desperation, if nothing else. But at the same time, the reason we are where we are is massively on him, massively, and the owners, which is the Lewis family, which is Enoch. Like, it has not changed. They've rebranded their name, but our owners are still the exact same people.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
No, and that is nothing has changed. For all their bullshit in removing Daniel Levy and talking about we want to see more victory, we want to see on-field success, that's what we want to prioritise, they have done nothing to show that. Like, zero, zip, to actually demonstrate that that's what they're after. And like you said, it's like nothing has changed, and nothing has. And because nothing has changed, we have continued to fall downwards and downwards, downwards. And now we are where we are. We are probably, with most bookies, the favourites to go down now. In fact,
yeah, I would say Wolves are down. Burnley, like you say, they should be going down tonight as of when recording this. Tottenham have got to be then the favourites, haven't we?
Yeah. Did you see that? Sorry, this is a side. Did you see some Wolves player made a comment on social media? He deleted it, but unfortunately not quick enough. Some fans were like giving him shit about performance or anything like that, and he said something about your missus goes down like we are, and then deleted it. But he didn't delete it fast enough, and I can't be honest with you, it made me laugh. So,
man,
I mean, I don't think it would be so damn funny if, like, you know, a Tottenham player did it with us getting relegated. But at the same time, when you see some of the abuse levelled at players online, you just...
Well, don't talk about abuse and players. One of our old players, Harry Winks.
Yeah.
He's gone viral, hasn't he? Because Leicester lost to Pompey at the weekend.
Yeah.
He had a curse and had a massive argument with one of the fans when getting on the bus, swearing at them and all sorts. He then came on the pitch last night and got booed by all the home fans.
Didn't see that at all. No,
yeah,
I mean...
He's not made himself many friends in Leicester with them going down, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, Leicester's in a mess, a large financial mess, and I think a lot of the fans query why he's on the money he's on. That's not his fault, though.
No.
Speaking of fans and abuse, obviously I want to mention Kevin Danzo.
Yes.
Danzo receiving racist abuse and messages because he made an error. I can't wrap my head around it. I've never been able to wrap my head around it. Like, I can understand frustration boiling over and being angry in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, all of us, oh, for fuck's sake, just kick it out, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't know a football fan that wouldn't have had that instinct initially.
At that point, just kick it out for a damn corner. Just don't give it away.
Like, my whole thing subsided very quickly into poor bastard. Like, he's been brilliant all game. That's gonna fucking sting. Like, he's clearly knackered. Like, they all looked fucked. Like, so my thing subsided, but at no point, like, does my brain go to this kind of knuckle dragging Neanderthal place of, I'm now good. Like, it's because he's black. Like, where does that come? Like, I can't. And I'm guessing if I could wrap my head around it, I'd be a very different person. But I just can't. I just can't work out how
for me,
that
like,
happens.
I'm the same. No matter, like, all these things. Like, we had it for the with England in the Euros when 3 players missed a penalty and they all got abused for it. Or we've had it before in the football and stuff. Like, I don't understand. No matter how annoyed I've been at a footballer or something happening in a football match, etc.
Yeah.
At no point has my brain gone, it's because of the colour of their skin.
Yeah.
Like, Danso's made a huge mistake. He wouldn't have done that if he was white. Like, that is not a thought process that goes through my head, ever.
No.
Why do some people, like, how is that a genuine thought process? he's made a mistake. I'm going to send him a message on Instagram with monkey emojis. It's like, what?
Well,
why?
I think...
Why is that a thing? Like, what is going on?
No idea. I mean, I'd like to say I don't fully understand racism, really. Like, I sort of grew up in a household where it was made fun of, like, being racist is so fucking dumb. It's like, we're all people. It really... Everyone's different. Like, literally, I can look identical to someone but be completely different, and I can look completely different from someone and have just everything in common. It just, people are people. I've never really wrapped my head around it, but it was so predictable and sad that I knew it was coming. Like, it just, like, it happened. I felt, oh shit, that's awful. But because of my overall disappointment in the result, I kind of, or not the disappointment of the result, actually, that's not fair. Disappointment at ending in a draw when we were so close to a win. I just, like, disengaged, come off the internet, just stepped away from it all, touched grass, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then when I went back to it and I was, like, looking through stuff, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, it was so obvious this was going to happen.
It was. I think that almost makes it worse. The fact that it was so predictably going to happen.
The one thing I like is that the players aren't suffering in silence anymore. Players are getting this shit and they're dealing with it. They're not just letting it go. They're not just like, they're pointing it out. And it is criminal. Like, the club's statement is so accurate. Like, what you're doing is a crime. It's not just a shit thing to do. You are actually breaking laws. So we're going to find you. We're using a company that specialises in tracking these anonymous accounts down. And you're going to be banned for, like, if you're a Tottenham fan and you're doing that and you're then banned from your own club, I mean, don't get me wrong, that could not be a punishment right now, but just, but you see what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, where does, like, you could end up in
court.
Where
is your head at that point? Like...
And the club have the money and the resources to find you and prosecute you. Like, go and get yourself a lawyer. You're up against a multi-million-pound corporation and a player that earns more than you probably do a year in a week. They're going to pay for the lawyers that will crucify you.
Oh, definitely. So they damn should.
And this is my point. It's like, there is no logic, there's like no brain cell working in these people, and I can't wrap my head around it in any way, shape or form. But I guess if you're the sort of person that's going to be racist to someone, then logic and common sense isn't actually
probably not in your wheelhouse. No,
probably not. Probably just busy wearing your red MAGA hat. Anyway, now I've lost half our audience. We drew with Brighton 2-2. It felt like we were going to win. For me, it was the best performance of the season, which begrudgingly I have to hand to De Zerbi. He got us playing very well, very aggressive. The pressing was excellent. The setup really worked, where he basically played Bentancur, who made a massive difference. Which allowed Gallagher to just press everyone, like just go rogue basically and press like a lunatic, led the press at the front.
And that is something Gallagher has got, the legs.
Yeah, which we'd not really seen, which is something we discussed, like, it's been such an awful signing for us in the context of not helping. But I saw in that game what I was expecting to see in every game, and you got to kind of wonder, there was this thing when Tudor took over, and it kind of got missed by a lot of people, but he basically pointed out the team were not fit. He was like, this squad are not trained properly. They're not fit. They're not fit enough. And there's something I learned in my very limited semi-professional rugby career is fitness isn't just about not blowing out your ass from running around for the duration of the game. Fitness impacts your decision-making. Like, when you are fucked and you are fatigued, you will make bad decisions. Kevin Danzo was fucked and fatigued. I think Kevin Danzo, clear-headed as you like, puts that into row Z in that moment of the game. Just boom, out for a throw, far away as possible. In that fatigued state, he went into his pro forma, okay, control, look up, who am I going to pass it to? Because you go into that kind of autopilot. Like,
if that had happened in the 12th minute of the game, I am fully understanding that he would have had the strength to shield the ball off,
and
probably pass the ball off and rebuild.
But it just so happens fatigue. Like I don't blame him. Like, this is just a bad thing that happened, and I dare say, in the 95th minute of a game that lands to him again, that ball's going to knock out some granny in the back row. Like, he is going to lever it because he ain't going to want to feel that way again. But that's that's what it is. That's football. But where were you on that? Because the game finished 2-2. When you look at Brighton's form, and you look at our form at home, especially this whole season, if someone had offered me a point before kickoff, I'd have taken it.
100%. I think situations are the main thing here. The situation we are in now, that match finished, it felt like a defeat. I was absolutely gutted at the result because it was the best we've played in a long time.
Yeah.
And we were literally we conceded 2 goals, both in injury time of each half.
Yep.
That hurts.
Yeah, big time.
But in a different, I know it's all these things, but if we were sitting mid-table right now, having a mediocre season, and Brighton, who are on the form they're on, come to our ground and they scrape a 2-2 draw, like a last-minute equaliser, you're thinking to yourself, oh, we're unlucky there.
I know what you're saying, but by that same rationale, us being so bad near the bottom of the table is an even better result. Like, if in mid-table,
definitely. Like, it is looking at it after the game, it was a heck of a result.
Yeah.
Situationally, though, I came out of that game, that hurt. That was such a painful goal to concede.
Oh, massively, yeah. I mean, that goal could be what sends us down. Without that, every game now, it's situations like, well, that could be the moment. That miss, that penalty decision, whatever.
I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw Simmons take his shirt off, I face palmed. I was like, never go full Richie. Never go full Richie.
How do you genuinely feel about that? Because I know that's kind of a running joke, like never go full Richie. But there is a real thing among Tottenham fans about that was an over-celebration and that's why we ended up drawing.
I don't think him taking his shirt off was the reason we drew.
No.
And I completely understand the celebrations because we have been through it the last 4 months.
And what a goal it was, by the way.
And what a goal. I have personally never understood taking a shirt off to celebrate. That is just a general, I've played a lot of football. Okay, never at the highest level, but I have played football for 15 plus years as a regular player.
Yeah.
As a right winger and a striker, I have scored quite a lot of goals in my football career. Okay, again, not in massive stadiums or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at no point have I scored a goal, and my first thought was, I'm going to take my clothes off.
Well, let me interject with this because I do think this is a weird thing. It's like an adrenaline hit. So, what would you say the biggest crowd you've scored in front of was?
Couple of hundred people.
Okay. Can you imagine the noise of a stadium atmosphere of 60,000 losing their fucking minds as the ball hits the back of the net? That injection of adrenaline and kind of noise and joy. I played rugby, and as a forward, I would score tries very sparingly, and just literally would score a try, fall over a line, that sort of thing, and there'd be 1 or 2 people around the side, and I never showed any emotion, never thought about it at all. I played for a select team which was putting on a match before an England game at Twickenham, and there were roughly 60,000 people in there watching it as I fell over the try line. And there was this noise, like I couldn't stop smiling, like I was celebrating. I was like punching the air, like doing a friggin'. I was ready.
Yeah.
I could have lapped the ground. I was like, just the friggin' hit from that was insane. And so I like this tiny little thing. I always think to that, like, there is an element of you don't know what to do. It's like a kind of, you're so friggin' euphoric, and so I always think of the shirt being taken off as a kind of, you've proper lost your head, and it's like, what do I do? Strip! Like, I don't know, it's like streaking. It just sort of happens, and then you see the players sometimes when everything's calmed down, they're putting the shirt back on. The referee stood there ready to book them. They're like, I know, I don't know why I did it.
Yeah, sorry, boss.
Yeah, it's like a stupid thing, but it is just that adrenaline hit. Your mind loses it, and VAR has kind of killed an element of that for me in football.
Yes.
That pure joy moment of kind of losing your shit. And, you know, it probably still will. Not in the Championship, though, everybody.
They've rejected it.
They've rejected it again. So next season, still no VAR in the Championship. You know, every dark cloud, everyone, every dark cloud. You're still thinking about the bad news, aren't you? Anyway, so I don't want my players to score a goal like that and be like, yay.
No, I want them to lose their mind. Like I say, just me personally, I've never scored a goal and my brain's gone, strip!
Well, I'd like you to work hard.
I have done a knee slide once on an incredibly dry pitch.
And how dumb was that, by the way? How dumb was that? But I would say, like, score a goal against 60,000 people with a physique of a professional footballer, you might be more inclined to take your shirt off.
That is also quite true. Yeah, maybe the body confidence might not be telling me.
I will also say at no point in my rugby career, no matter how built I was, that at any point I think I should strip right now. Like
these people want to see my tits.
Nah, that was definitely after the game. This whole strip thing, but I earned some tips. It was okay. So. I mean, that goal was brilliant. I loved the celebration. I loved every minute of it. I did. Of course, there was loads of time left, so I'm like, I wanted us to keep pressing forward. I wanted us to go for a third, and I don't think it was a lack of effort. Like, we could have scored, and even when it went 2-2, Archie Gray had a chance, which I genuinely think he maybe someone up or maybe been on the pitch from the start. Is one of those you lever it, like that's probably going to go in before the keeper can get down to it. But
yeah, there was this horrible kind of mix-up. There was like, 2 or 3 players at the edge of the box. Yeah. And it was kind of like, if he had been stood there without another Spurs fan around him, he blasts that ball. But I think where they kind of almost run into each other, it was enough just to make you go, oh.
It's again, like, just didn't work the way you... I mean, 2-2, I don't think was overly fair. I think we were a better team on the day, but Brighton are a bloody good side, and they're playing good football, and they didn't like both their goals were, you know, their second goal equaliser hurt, the first one hurt, but just for like a whole different reason of like, what the fuck? How many times did those just go into the stand? But no, not against us, not right now. They just hit the back of the net like a frigging rocket. But, you know, it's what it is. But it was a point. West Ham also picked up a point, so we're basically as we were. A 2-point gap between us, which takes us forward. Now, the next 5 games then, the final 5 games for us, is Wolves away, who have now been relegated. Aston Villa away, who of course have got European matters to attend to. Leeds United at home, who, depending on their next 2 results, could be feeling safe or could be needing to fight, who knows. Chelsea away, which is a real shit show there at the moment. And Everton at home, who will probably love the idea of relegating us. I had a really interesting interaction with an Everton fan the other day. who kind of said he always felt like a kinship between Everton and Tottenham. But he said,
I can understand that.
But he said when Everton were facing relegation, he remembers Tottenham fans going through the Everton team going, "Oh, we could sign him, we could sign him, we could sign him." And I was like, yeah, I possibly did that. He was like, "Yeah, it kind of pissed me off." I was like, "Yeah, I can see how that would piss you off." And he was like, "So
sorry about that."
So he was like, "No, it's fine because like I've got a short list of 8 of your players." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you."
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how that goes. Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Chelsea, Everton. That is 5 games.
Without sounding obvious, we have to beat Wolves.
So no
other result matters. Like that is, we have to beat Wolves.
So it is us versus West Ham now. I think. I know others could still get dragged in, but right now it's us and West Ham. This weekend, both of us kick off the same time, 3 p.m. on the Saturday. West Ham are hosting Everton, who I just mentioned, and we go to Wolves. West Ham record against Everton at home is excellent, by the way. Our record at Wolves is fucking atrocious. Like, not good at all. Someone said to me yesterday, said, they're already down. They'll be. I'm like, that actually for me is worse. That
is the worst time to play some because they now have nothing to play for.
Well, it's just purely fuck it then. You know, we got what have they got to fear now? So, oh no, we lost again. You know, we're already down. Let's just go and have a fucking go. And that is, I don't know. You can overanalyze and overthink these things easily, but I think
I always feel like playing a team that have nothing to play for. Is far worse.
We have still got an opportunity to stay up. Let's be clear on this. The odds are against us, and you look at our form and everything, with the Brighton game showing a positive sign, but we've all this season gone, oh, that was better, and then the next game gone, nope, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
So I'd like to think that it was a starting block. I'd like to think it was something they can build from and go, look, we play like that, and more times than not, we're going to win. You know, we were unlucky today. I look at that and I genuinely think we play that same way against Wolves. At Wolves, we win. I feel that way. But there is a real... The fact is, we have to better West Ham's result to get out of the relegation zone.
Every match now.
So West Ham against Everton could easily be an Everton win, could easily be a draw. We beat Wolves and we go above them. Like they draw, we go above them on goal difference.
Yep.
If they lose, we go above them by a point. If they win and we win, it's as we were. Like we have to better their result. And every week, obviously, ticking down towards the end. I don't think West Ham are going to win 5 games. Despite Mr. De Zerbi's assertion, I don't think we will win 5 games.
I did like the fact he came out and said, we can win 5 games. He was like, yes, and I can win the lottery. I didn't.
Yes, I mean, I can date a rather beautiful woman, but unfortunately, they also have a say. It's like, hello, I can date you. Good for you, but no.
You could, but not today.
Yeah. In theory, you could. Yeah. That reminds me of a Jeffro joke, which I'll tell you after the podcast because I can't say it on it because I'll get cancelled. But I don't know, man. It's one of these things where I'm sort of looking at it and I'm like, every logical part of me is screaming we still got a chance, but I for quite a while, and you know this and listeners will know this, I for quite a while have felt we're fucked and I can't shake that off. Like it just December, January time I started to think to myself, I think we're going to go down. Like I really felt we had a problem. Even when we were like 13 points above West Ham, it was like, if we don't sign people, if we don't sack Frank where we are, I think we're in the shit, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think we're in the shit, and I couldn't shake that feeling of bad. Like this is
I'm watching, not going in a good way at all.
And I say this to people because a lot of people say to me like, "Oh, Tottenham won't go down." I'm like, "You're not watching it." Like I'm watching every minute of every game. I'm looking at the body language. I'm watching the apathy. I'm watching the kind of, oh, fuck, we've conceded again. Let's shout at each other, throw our hands up in the air, but not actually do fuck all about it. I'm watching the next player that was doing all right drop injured with no one to replace him. Do you know what I mean? I was watching all of that, and I just kept saying to people like, oh, we're fucked. Like we're in deep shit here unless something changes. And they finally got rid of Frank, brought in a guy who like specialises in like turning these things around. Didn't turn anything around. Got rid of him, brought in De Zerbi. Serious question marks over that for all the reasons I've said before. But we've shown in our second game under him an improvement in playing, even if the result isn't 100% there. So, I don't know. Like I don't know how to feel. I'm kind of like, if I was looking for positives, I'd look at that performance and the point gained rather than lost.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I've watched this all season. I don't have any confidence in us beating Wolves. I know we have to. I don't have any belief in us doing it, which is ridiculous because I should. After the way we played against Brighton, the squad of players we got, the way Wolves have played this season, I should be looking at that going, we can win that game and hopefully West Ham make a mistake. But I don't feel it. I just don't. I can't I can't logically tell you why, but it's this feeling I've had in me for months.
No, I get it because I'm looking at the table and I keep looking at the table and I'm looking at it and I'm going, I just don't see where we're dragging ourselves from. And then I look at the remaining fixtures and I'm like, I should be looking at all of those fixtures going, every single one of those winnable. But I'm looking at them going, I don't see us beating Wolves.
Well,
why do I not see Tottenham Hotspur beating relegated Wolves?
But this is the quandary that I'm in, because like you just said then, like I'm looking at the table, I can't see us getting out of it. This weekend, we win, they lose, we're out of it. Not like it's done and dusted, we're safe, but I mean, right at the relegation zone, we're a point above them. And then it changes
back in our own hands, so to
speak.
But
then it changes the day after better our result. It flips. Like if we win or draw and they slip again, so it's I don't know. It's a weird thing. I've not been in a relegation battle like this where we are looking likely to go down. In my lifetime, really, because the time it happened in the Premier League before, where Klinsmann came in, there were a lot of clubs involved in it, and his goals really, I had the feeling that we were going to be okay. Like we were scoring goals, we were finding ways to score. It felt like we were going to get out of it, and we did. This doesn't feel like we're going to get out of it. Like there's just so many little things, and when things are against you, and it feels like every decision goes against us. It feels like every bit of luck goes against. Like Sunderland, that fucking goal they scored, they didn't look like scoring all day. It just went in off Van de Ven. It's like, that was so shit. I felt so bad for Kinski. Like he did really well, especially when you consider like his previous thing was that Atletico game. Like he came in and did really well. Solid again against Brighton. I thought unlucky for their goals. I mean, you can do fuck all about the first one, and the second one was point blank as well. So you look at it and it's like logic, like factually, this weekend could change everything. But I've got no confidence, and I think that's the problem. It's the confidence. Like this season has rocked me that I don't think we're going to win a game ever. I mean, it's been It was 111 days against Brighton since we last won a game in the Premier League. So by the time we play Wolves, that's going to be even longer, and that's why. I mean, that's that's like a fatigue of shit. But it can all be lifted by one game, because like if we'd hung on against Brighton, then all of a sudden that's gone. The players feel better, we feel better, we'd be looking at Wolves like, right now we're going to fucking beat Wolves.
Yeah, you look at that Sunderland game, for example, say like they didn't look like they were going to score the whole game.
No.
They had one deflect. Now, if that had been the other way round, and I don't know, anyone, Basuma, had a shot from the edge of the box that had bounced up off of a defender and gone in, we could have looked shit the whole game. But those 3 points would have then taken us on to the Brighton game with, we just beat an informed Sunderland team.
Yeah.
Here we go. You know, it's all that sort of thing, isn't it?
It's mad. So, Wolves away. It's a winnable game. I don't have any confidence, but it is winnable. And I think, like Billy said this on the podcast last week, every game you kind of go, well, this is it. If we don't win this one, we're fucked. I think the fact that West Ham drew against Palace means that the Brighton result kind of sticks okay, because it just basically moves everything on a week. But again, you are in this position of, if we don't beat Wolves, we're kind of fucked, really, because we need to get this result. And I think it's more than just the 3 points on the day. It's that we finally fucking won a game. Like it needs to happen to lift the fans and the players, because we need
that. We need that cloud just to part a little bit.
Well, it must, because the next game...
We don't need glorious sunshine. We just need a slither of...
Yeah, because the next game's Villa away, which could be a hiding. Which, if you don't get a good result against Wolves, then you go and get dicked by Villa. I think that's it. I think the team are done at that point.
Yeah.
You get a result against Wolves, you finally get a win, and then you look at Villa and you find a way to get at them and put pressure on them. Their focus is going to be elsewhere, which it will be.
Isn't it? It's sandwiched between their Forest semi-final, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that already is like
Yeah. Yeah, and they're pretty much secure for Champions League in the league. Like, they're pretty much nailed their place there. Yep. So they could rotate, which I wouldn't blame them. But look, even a rotated Villa side is going to be more confident at home and buoyant against us than than we are. But we beat Wolves. We go into that with a confidence that we've not had in a long time. We fail to get a result with Wolves, and let's say West Ham beat Everton, then that, we lose, West Ham win, that's 5 point cap. I don't see us overturning that in the 4 games left. So I will say that this weekend is a great opportunity for us. At the same time, if we fail, I think it's curtains.
I feel you're right on this, unfortunately.
So on that happy-go-lucky note, we'll call the podcast to a close. Thank you to everybody who's still listening. Our listenership, and I'm told by other podcasters it's the same, is very low this season. I think it's a Tottenham, I just don't want anything to do with them right now. Do I want to listen to people talk about it? No.
You've had a match, you're pissed off. I'm then going to load up the companion to it.
Yeah, no, I get it. But so thank you to everyone who stuck with us and people who interact, because it helps when you're feeling it as badly as we are. I'm going to continue to try and make it entertaining and amusing, regardless of the results. But I will forewarn everyone, if West Ham win and Tottenham lose this coming weekend, next week's show could be quite depressing. I could be in a dark place.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, just so you know. Especially when my co-host is such a big West Ham fan, it makes it quite difficult. But anyway, thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you, Stephan, for joining me. We will be back next week to talk about the Wolves game and the West Ham Everton games. Fingers crossed for results going our way. Until then, everybody, you all take care.
Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you for listening to the Spurs News Podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Stay up to date with all things Tottenham. Follow us on social media. All links are in the podcast description.